Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of pocket change, specifically, the humble Lincoln penny. You see them everywhere, right? In your car's cup holder, under the couch cushions, maybe even on the sidewalk. And you've probably heard the stories that one lucky person found a penny worth thousands, even millions of dollars. It's the kind of story that makes you want to dump out your entire change jar and start searching. But I am here today to tell you something you might not want to hear. That penny in your hand? It's probably worth exactly 1 cent. Let's talk about why. First, let's get a sense of scale. The U.S. Mint has produced an absolutely staggering number of Lincoln cents since they were first introduced back in 1909. We're talking about hundreds of billions of pennies. Billions with a B. Think about it this way: for every single person in the United States, there are thousands of pennies in circulation. The sheer volume is mind-boggling. When something is that common, its base value just can't be high. It's the basic law of supply and demand. The supply is overwhelming, so unless there's something truly special about a specific coin, its value remains at face value. So, what makes a penny special? Well, this is where the treasure hunt gets interesting, but also where a lot of misunderstanding happens. People hear about rare dates, mint marks, and error coins, and they start thinking every old-looking penny is a hidden gem. Let's break it down. The most famous rare penny is probably the 1909 SVDB. This S means it was minted in San Francisco, and VDB are the initials of the designer, Victor David Brenner. Early on, these initials were a bit too prominent for some people's taste, so they were quickly removed. Because so few were made with the initials at the San Francisco Mint before the change, they became incredibly rare. We're talking about only 484,000 minted. Compare that to the hundreds of millions, sometimes billions, of pennies minted in other years. Another legendary rarity is the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, copper was a critical material for the war effort, needed for shell casings and wiring. So, in 1943, the U.S. Mint switched to making pennies out of zinc-coated steel. They're the weird-looking silver-colored pennies you sometimes find. However, a tiny handful of copper blanks from 1942 were accidentally left in the hoppers and were struck with the 1943 date. It's estimated that fewer than 40 of these exist. Finding one is like winning the lottery multiple times. The key word here is accidentally. These are errors, not the norm. And that brings us to the next point: errors. This is another area where excitement can get ahead of reality. You hear about double die errors, where the coin gets struck twice, creating a doubled image. The 1955 double die obverse is a classic example. It's very noticeable, especially on the date and the words, "In God We Trust." It's a fantastic find, and it is valuable. But then you have people looking at any little smudge, any slight machine doubling, which is extremely common, or any post-mint damage, and thinking they've struck gold. A coin that got run over by a car isn't a mint error, it's just a damaged coin. A coin that has a slight ghosting effect from a worn-out die isn't the next 1955 double die. It's important to learn the difference between a genuine, valuable mint error and simple, worthless damage or common die fatigue. Let's talk about wheat pennies. These are the pennies made from 1909 to 1958, with the 2 stalks of wheat on the back. People love them. And yes, some are valuable, like the 1909 SVDB we mentioned, or the 1914 D, or the 1922 D without a mint mark. But the vast majority of wheat pennies? They're incredibly common. If you have a wheat penny from the 1940s or 1950s, especially from the Philadelphia Mint, which has no mint mark, tens of millions or even billions were made. In circulated condition, they might be worth 3 or 4 cents. Maybe a little more if they're in really pristine, uncirculated condition. I see people at flea markets or online trying to sell common-date wheat pennies for $1 each. And people buy them, thinking they're getting a piece of rare history. You're not. You're overpaying by about 30 times its actual value. The same logic applies to the Lincoln Memorial cents, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Are there valuable ones? A few. The 1969 S double die is a major one, and the 1972 double die is another well-known variety. But again, these are needles in a continent-sized haystack. Most of the hype you see online is just that, hype. People post videos titled, "Check your pocket change for this penny worth $10,000, and they show a coin with a tiny, almost invisible die chip or a minor die crack. Are these technically errors? Yes. Are they rare or valuable? Almost never. These are incredibly common, minor imperfections that happen all the time during the minting process. They don't command a premium. But the videos get clicks, and the hype builds, leading people to think their slightly dinged-up 1985 penny is their ticket to retirement. So how do you avoid getting caught up in this and overpaying? The first step is education. Don't just rely on a sensational YouTube title or a random post on social media. Get a good reference book. The Red Book, officially titled A Guidebook of United States Coins, is the Bible for coin collectors. It's updated every year and gives you realistic values for coins in different grades, along with mintage numbers and information on key dates and varieties. Spend more time reading a reliable book than watching questionable videos. Second, understand coin grading. A coin's condition is everything. A common date 1957 D penny might be worth 2 cents in circulated condition. That same coin, in a perfect, uncirculated, graded as MS 67 condition could be worth hundreds of dollars. The difference is preservation. Most coins you find in circulation are, by definition, circulated. They're scratched, worn, and have lost their original mint luster. They will almost never be in the high-grade conditions that command big money. Don't be fooled by someone calling a coin shiny. A cleaned coin is a damaged coin in the eyes of a collector, and cleaning actually destroys its value. Original mint luster is what matters. Third, be skeptical of online marketplaces. You'll see sellers listing a very common 1995 penny for $5,000, claiming it's a rare no-mint mark error. Here's a pro tip: pennies minted in Philadelphia before 1980 don't have a mint mark. It's not an error, it's the standard. These sellers are either ignorant or intentionally trying to mislead buyers who don't know any better. They're hoping a newcomer to the hobby will see the high price, believe the hype, and make a purchase they'll instantly regret. Always check mintage figures and reference guides before you even think about buying a coin, especially an expensive one. Look, I love coin collecting. The thrill of the hunt is real. There's nothing like finding a key date coin in a roll or a bag of change. It connects you to history in a tangible way. But the hobby should be fun and educational, not a source of financial disappointment. The reality is that coin collecting is a game of knowledge and patience. The people who make real finds are the ones who have spent hours, days, and years learning what to look for. They can spot the subtle details of a true variety from across the room because they've studied thousands of normal coins. They aren't just randomly hoping to get lucky. So, next time you see a video or a post that promises you get rich from your pocket change, take it with a huge grain of salt. Cherish your pennies for what they are, tiny pieces of American history that have passed through countless hands. Go ahead and search through them. Look for the wheat pennies, look for the older dates, it's a fun activity. But please, don't go online and spend $100 on a roll of unsearched wheat pennies thinking you're going to find a 1909 SVDB. The odds are astronomically against it. Save your money, buy a good book, and enjoy the hobby for the journey of learning, not just the fantasy of a destination. Thanks for watching today. I hope this helps you navigate the world of penny collecting with a more realistic and informed perspective. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found anything cool in your change. See you in the next one.